Hello everyone and thanks for tuning in. In this video, Tony and I are venturing up north to Duluth, Minnesota. We'll eat some delicious fish, see some cool ships, and get down and dirty as we hit the Superior Hiking Trail to train for our summer trail marathon. And before we get started, if you enjoy this video and choose to like and subscribe, thank you so much. With that, let's get into it.
Look at this fun fridge.
Nice, they've got water. Do not drink.
Classic Airbnb. Water, do not drink. Ooh, a nice big bathroom. Very cute.
Cool. Now we gotta move our car. Or maybe we just go to dinner.
What about the loading zone?
We're in the loading zone.
Yeah, we have to move our car.
Let's drive to dinner.
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah.
Rainy now.
I see what you meant. I thought you meant just leave our car and go to dinner.
For dinner, we ventured to Canal Park Brewing Company. We got the crispy Brussels sprouts.
Carrying your leftovers in the B-roll.
Got some fries. A little snack for after the run tomorrow.
Yum.
Apparently, the northern lights will be visible this far south tonight. Maybe we'll see them.
If we look. Are we going to be too tired?
I'm so sleepy. The northern lights get this far south like every once in a while. It was a race against the clock to get some Love Creamery ice cream before they closed, but we managed.
Got it.
Yeah, we got a pint of buttermilk vanilla. So yeah, now we're heading back to our Airbnb. We're gonna turn in early tonight because we have a long run tomorrow, which we want to get up kind of early for. We're going to hit the trails for a 14-mile long run along the Superior Hiking Trail. Nothing like a 14-mile trail run after a night of beer and burgers and ice cream.
It'll be nice.
Yeah.
It'll feel good. Buttermilk banana.
Yeah. We just decided to hook up with the lake walk in Duluth, a couple blocks from our Airbnb, and that is the Superior Hiking Trail. So it's going to eventually turn into some trails within Duluth. We originally were going to be going to Jay Cooke State Park, but as per usually, we got a later start. I hoped for us to be out the door by 7, and it is 9 o'clock.
We woke up at 7 instead.
Yeah, so I think we're just gonna save a good hour because we want to do a little bit of sightseeing today, and a lot of the big sites close at 5. So we just decided to hike through the trails within Duluth. So far, we're just really enjoying this very flat first mile along the lake walk, along Lake Superior, and it's beautiful.
I know.
Yeah. Superior, they said, never gives up their dead. However, Superior is looking awfully cheery this morning, I think.
I think the lyric should be Superior, they say, never has a bad day.
Oh, that's good! It like doesn't matter how many times I have to go to the bathroom, or I go to the bathroom before leaving. Like in the first mile, I always have to go. All right, 2 miles in, we've already had kind of a confusing spot with the railroad tracks and everything. There's a lot of street crossings, and it's easy to miss a turn. But we're back on track. Just gonna try following the Superior Hiking Trail. We're gonna do our best.
A rusty wire.
Yeah, be really careful here. We are cut yourself?
No. I just got a boot. It just wrapped around my sock.
Okay.
And I just got my booster.
This section is really dirty.
Oh, okay.
We're just gonna walk through.
Juxtaposition. Nature and city.
All right, we're on the first mile or so, the first little stretch in Duluth on the spear hiking trail, kind of by Bayfront Park. I think that first mile is always like a little bit dirty. I think there's some people that are like living in the woods. So we're just watching our feet because there can be things like broken glass and stuff around. But I feel like we're kind of out of that stretch. But it does climb a bit for this first stretch, which is what we're looking for. I have such a love-hate relationship with this trail. You know, it's really pretty, but it's also really hard. But also, I really don't love this stretch that goes through Duluth because it's just like a lot of road crossings. We're going about 3 miles per hour right now. It's gonna be more downhill, I think, on the way back, so that'll be helpful.
We're on a schedule, Beth.
We are on a schedule. We gotta make the William A. Irvin. We gotta. We're stopped for our first gel break.
I'm having gel, and I'm also trying, I had a goo, and I'm also trying these gummies. Although you say you shouldn't mix them, right?
Yeah, you really shouldn't.
Hungry.
I guess we'll see what happens. We'll do a gut check with Tony, because they say don't mix the types of energy gels at the same time. Like, you don't want to take Gatorade with an energy gel.
What if I took goo with a honey stinger offshoot?
There's really no one size fits all thing, so I don't know. We'll check in and see how Tony feels. I think you were just hungry. All right, heading up. Just like a lot of walking. Already had a huge mud situation today. Awesome. It's nice to have some more like undulating hills rather than just like up. So we can actually like do a little running.
Yeah, feels like we're actually starting now here at mile, I don't know, 3?
4.5 miles in.
All right.
Yeah. Do your duty. What is this? Is this a character like from Duluth?
Some
Like,
sort
is
of
this a made-up Duluth fairy?
hoopfairyuniversity.com, regional stormwater protection team.
Made it to Enger Park. There's like a peace bell over here. I think we can ring it. You wanna ring it? Do you just push it? Yeah. Very pretty though. It's so pretty, isn't it?
Very pretty.
Yeah.
Dueling cameras.
Woo!
Ah!
Woo! Tony and I are at about 6.25 or 6.3 miles, and we're gonna turn around and we're gonna make up some time running around Canal Park area. After we went to Universal Studios and prior to this run, our training has not been as dialed in, we'll say. It's been pretty spotty the last couple weeks, so this was always going to be a really hard run for us, at least for me. Maybe Tony is feeling like a
Fresh and
rock
chipper.
star. We're heading on our way back now. And got some really nice views. The trails aren't too busy, even for a Saturday morning. Very muddy, lots of mud. I feel like my legs look like gross. They look like I don't want to be in public like this because people will think that I had a little accident. But I didn't. Speaking of that, how is your gut feeling, Tony?
My
with
gut check,
Gut check.
Good. I finished off the bag of gummies, even, or gel shots.
The honey
whatever.
stinger.
Honey stinger.
Choose.
And yeah, I like them. I'm a big fruit snack boy. Also of note, I've got a hydration vest.
Ooh, Tony's a big boy. He's carrying his own water and everything.
Yep, it was time.
Let's get some miles in. This is the section we were going up, and I was like, I'm not sure how we're gonna go down it without poles. It's slick. All right, I'm gonna put the camera away for this one. Oh, there's even like steps, and it's still really steep in that little spot. Tony, ticking those boxes.
I tripped on a root and I caught myself with my hands.
Yeah.
No real cuts or anything though. You can kind of see the imprint.
Yeah.
Like imprint of pebbles.
You've got your vest, you've got your super muddy shoes, and you've got some skins on your hands. So overall, a successful run, I think.
Well.
All right, we can see Anger Tower right there. There's Lake Superior. We've got a boat. Tony is taking the hills like a powerhouse. Whew. I am not. Tony, are you aspiring to be one of those tall, bounding boys at the front of the pack? Yeah, you did.
Really?
You looked like a rock star. We made it to Anger Park, and just take a peek at Anger Tower over here. Supposedly haunted.
Oh.
Haunted, not hunted. It sounded like I said hunted.
You were saying haunted.
I said haunted. We're about 9.2 miles, so
I've got 9.44.
we'll go by yours. Very cool.
Liz has been curious about this ship all day. What's her cargo?
What's the cargo? What year was she built? Is she a self-unloading? She's going in. Disaster. So muddy. Try not to mess up our Airbnb and mess up my rating as a guest. Tony and I are back. We're at our Airbnb. We're going to shower up, and then we're gonna walk over to Canal Park, find a quick bite to eat, and then we're going to see if we can't sightsee and check out the Willie Mae Irvin, that big ship that's next to Canal Park, which is something that I've wanted to do for a long time. Hi.
They're pretty big sandwiches too.
Such a sweet experience because the workers on the ship were waving at all of us, and they don't have to do that. They're doing a job. They're probably busy with other stuff, so like they don't have to wave at the people watching. But I don't know, and they honk the horn. That's probably not for us. That's probably to signal that they're departing. But still, I don't know. It was just like really cool, and it was just like as romantic of a thing as you would imagine seeing a big ship would be. So just very cool.
Are you emotional?
Yeah. I'm very emotional seeing the American Integrity.
You know, she's over 1,000 feet, one of only 13.
Not me, the ship.
Yeah, the ship, the American Integrity. Over 1,000 feet long. There's only 13 ships in the Great Lakes Lakers fleet that are over 1,000 feet. So
yeah, so this was just a really cool experience. So if you're in Duluth and you have the chance to see a ship coming in or in or out by the canal bridge, I highly recommend it because it's very neat. We're on the boat. We are on the William A. Irvin. The William A. Irvin, named after a former president of U.S. Steel, is a retired lake freighter that carried iron ore and coal through the Great Lakes. It sailed from 1938 to 1978. You really can't go anywhere in this area without hearing a tangent from the Edmund Fitzgerald, but we were just talking this phrase, "we are holding our own." These were the last words ever heard from the Edmund Fitzgerald. It's just the most Midwestern reaction. Like, you're in the middle of a giant storm, the ship is sinking, and you're just like, well, we're holding our own. It could be worse out here.
But if you say, it could be worse, you mean it exactly, because things can always be worse. They can always be worse more often than they can always be better.
Can always be worse.
That's so true. Puts out some air.
That was a really fun tour. So the setup is, it's sort of self-guided, but for us there were 3 different stops where there was a tour guide just stationed there, and they would just talk about the general area that you were in, and you could ask them questions and things, and then you kind of move on, if that makes sense. It was kind of a neat setup because you kind of go at your own pace, but then also every once in a while, like if you have questions that crop up, you can ask a human at the next spot that you're going to see them. And a couple of the people had experience working on ships just like this, so just like a really nice tour. It took about an hour, which I think was a good amount of time.
Yeah.
45 minutes to an hour. Worth it, right? Because it's such a big part of Duluth if you're visiting Duluth.
Yeah, you see it.
So what should we do now? We're very thirsty, both of us.
We'll play the game.
Like summer today.
I know. Tony and I have had such a lovely day here in Duluth. We just barely missed closing time for Northern Waters Smokehouse to get some delicious smoked salmon. We both got the black pepper and coriander
Highly recommend.
Smoked salmon fish basket, which we are so excited to dig into once we get back to the hotel. Cross and head on to the lake walk. Just a really nice day in Duluth, Minnesota. Starting with a trail run, we just had some nice beer, some nice fish. We saw some great boats. So good. I just thought today was just like a perfect day.
It was a solid day in Duluth. I think it's the most solid day we've ever done.
Tomorrow, we're heading up north a little bit further, up towards Two Harbors. We're going to be camping in Split Rock State Park in the Cart-In campground, so really excited to check that out as well. So just a great start to just a great first half, I should say, to our trip up north.
I've been running from myself so long. I've been running from my heart. Things have never been.
We've procured our sweet treat afterwards.
Look, they put a little wafer in there.
I know. It's going to be very cute. We're sharing one because we learned our lesson about buying a malt for our own.
In Two Harbors, we each got a malt from this little malt shop. Not too dissimilar from that. We each got one, and it was huge. And it was like our anniversary weekend. We were camping. We each ate it all, I think, and we both felt terrible. We just felt like too full. And I think, didn't we go home that day?
We went home early. We were just like, we feel awful after that malt.
I couldn't handle it. I don't know.
Yeah. So we always split a malt now from now on.
Try to.
Yeah.
I'm smiling, what is happening?
With the cream cheese dip. Ah, so good. We're just going to sneak a little bit of sightseeing in before we leave Duluth. We're gonna stop at the Glensheen mansion today, but first we have to make a stop at Target because I forgot some important things for camping. One, our air mattress. A lot of people can sleep on the ground. That's great, good for them. Not me. So we're gonna be getting a cheap air mattress at Target, whatever is just there, and pillows too. All right, Tony and I bought the full mansion tour. The cheapest option is the general tour, which shows you a limited amount of the mansion, only like the first 2 floors, and we are hopefully gonna get to see more.
That's right.
Yes. Glensheen Mansion was the former family home of Chester Congdon and his family. Congdon was a lawyer and also influential in Minnesota's mining industry. The house was built from 1905 to 1908 and is a beautiful example of a very wealthy Midwestern family home at the time. And it's filled with materials and objects from the Congdon family's many grand tours around the world. There is no video allowed in the Glensheen Mansion, but we were allowed to take photos without flash, which I can share with you here. Some things I enjoyed most in Glensheen Mansion were this example of one of the many annotations Chester Congdon wrote in his books he owned, which says, "This book is not worth reading. The author is so anxious to make language that the few facts stated are unreliable and the ideas nil. Then he is such an ass. Himself a tourist, he affects contempt for tourists until his book becomes a bore. It is a waste of time to attempt to enlarge one's knowledge or ideas from this book." If Chester Congdon were alive for Goodreads, I imagine he'd end his review with 1 star. I also love this beautiful Japanese-inspired breakfast room where each green tile cost $5 to $7 at the time, which today would be $125 to $150 each. And this slightly radioactive Vaseline glass, which feels very Disney's Haunted Mansion to me. And this paper lampshade, which has a flower blooming effect when the lamp is lit. And the wall designs revealed underneath the paint in some areas of the house. I think it's fun to imagine the walls covered in painted patterns. And this concludes our weekend in Duluth, but the adventure is not over, so stay tuned as we travel further up the North Shore and tap into our inner outdoorsman. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, you might want to give it a thumbs up and maybe even subscribe to the channel Runaway with Liz, where I share videos about our adventures in travel, running, hiking, and whatever else I feel like sharing that I think would be fun to talk about. And if you do subscribe, thank you so much. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.